Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Green Truck Records podcast. I'm your host, Cobra Hunter, the founder, CEO, president, and dictator of Green Truck Records, running my own fiefdom. And I'm with Shelby Cobra. On Green Truck Records podcast, we talk about every single song that we put out from Green Truck. And today, we're going to talk about Cobra Hunter's first song that Green Truck ever released, first song that Cobra Hunter ever released. So, for those of you that don't know, me and Shelby are Cobra Hunter. We kind of made our own project, our own band. And our first song that we released on Green Truck Records or anywhere for the world was called I'm Your Sinking Song. So let's get into it. Shelby, first of all, I want to know when you came up with that. Was that right away? Or was that later on?
Shit, I don't know. I think
know?
it was later on. Yeah, I think it was later on.
Okay, so to give people some insight on this song, Shelby's a traditional like country singer, right? And I said I want to hear your voice over some rock stuff, and so because I thought he had a great rock voice, and so I sent him this. I think maybe the first song that I ever sent you. Is that right?
I think so too.
Like,
yeah,
I think it is like a first original, not like one of your songs that I was messing with, but like I'm gonna write you a song for you to sing. And I think this is the first one.
And I was trying to find the file name too, because it wasn't Sinking Song when it started. I did that later, but
yeah, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember the name of the file. It was something like I Can Only Go Up or something like that. I think if I remember, I don't know, but I sent it over and I was like, this is probably going to be too heavy for you. And then you called me from your truck on the way either to or from work, and you were singing me the pre-chorus. You started singing me the pre-chorus. You're like, dude, I think I got something. And this was like on your, I think it might've been your first listen or your first or second listen. You're like, and if you're trying to quicksand, I know where to go but up. And I was like, yeah, that sounds rad, man. I don't know. Yeah, you should record it. I don't know. Yeah, that sounds awesome. But I was pumped that you even thought of something. And how long? And then I think you recorded vocals that next day, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, probably, because I usually, just with work and stuff, I have a window in the morning where I can come down here and shout. Everybody woke up and it's got like an hour between everybody being awake and me going to work. So I'll throw on the microphone real quick.
See, I have my time at night. That's when I do it. Everybody kind of goes to bed, bam, and then I come out, and that's my time where I can just like turn the guitars way up and, do what I want. That's kind of funny that it's on opposites. But I was so stoked that you, first of all, I don't know how you do it. You think of stuff so fast. You're like, oh, I got it. I got something for this one. I got it. And it just like comes to you, and it's just like a fully formed song. And that has always blown me away about you. I don't know how you do that. Like, did you even make any revisions to the lyrics or anything? Was it just that was your first pass?
Yeah. I do all that behind the scenes. Nobody likes to see surgery, so I wouldn't want to sing you the first couple of things.
How the sausage gets made?
Yeah, I'm going through. I should have printed the lyric sheet out so I can kind of explain what's going on. But the whole theme of that one came through, and I went to. I was in a rehab a while back, and there was always people going, "Well, you haven't hit your bottom." Like, people don't quit doing whatever they're going to do unless you hit your bottom, and everybody has their own bottom, whatever level that is. Some people make fun of themselves at a Christmas party and go, I'm never drinking again. I don't want to do that shit. And then sometimes you're under the overpass and you caught with a tranny and you're like, maybe that's my bottom. Maybe they have a red flag.
I hope this is my bottom. But yeah, maybe this is my bottom.
And then you got the guys who everybody else sees that's got to be the bottom, right? And he's still there going, nah, man, I'm good. And that would be like where the guy's like, no, I'm your sinking song, dude. I'm here to tell you this is bad news.
Oh, so this is like, I never thought of it that way. Like, hey, I'm your sinking song. Like, I'm telling you, this is your bottom. So you got to start.
Your addiction being like, you don't think you can go lower? All right, I'm your sinking song. I'll sing as you're on your way down. You know what I mean?
Dang.
So you better recognize now, or this is it.
That's so cool, because I don't think I ever even asked you about the meaning of the lyrics. I was just so excited that you wrote something so fast and it sounded cool. I was like, whatever, whatever you put in there sounds good to me. I just didn't even think about.
And that was the basis. That was the base of it. That's where I came from. And then the lyrics just take off on their own because it's I like making them wild and stuff. Plus, I hate. It's not that I hate. I have to get used to telling people why I wrote something or something like that. But I like everybody taking their own meaning to a song. If they never heard me say that, somebody else might be like, "I think you wrote it because of this," and yes, that's why I wrote it. Then,
But have you ever done this before too, where the song it even changes meaning to you? Like you'll write a song and it kind of comes from a place, and you don't always write about something. Sometimes it's just the words kind of mix good together, so you're just like, hey, that's the lyric. But it's happened to me before where you write a song because you're in a space, right? And then years later, you're singing it and it's about something else. Like the meaning of that song is completely changed. So I don't mind telling people like, sure, this is what prompted me to write those lyrics. It doesn't even necessarily mean that's what it's about to me today.
Sure.
It's just what prompted me to write the lyrics at the time. So I don't
if somebody
feel bad
comes up to me and says, I think your song is because of this and it's better than what I thought, that's what I'm using that.
Yeah, well, that's what it's about now. I think that's so cool because it's just like any art. Like you see a painting hanging on the wall and it talks to you for a reason. And that reason may be totally different than what the artist intended, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It's like you wrote it to get something out. Somebody else is listening to it to get something in. Those two things don't have to connect for it to be awesome.
Yeah.
That's the way I think of it. But did you ever think that this song was too heavy for you? I'm curious.
I had my doubts just because I've never done it before. I was really nervous sending to you for the first time, and it pumped me up that you were excited on it. You know what I mean? We had done other rocks-ish songs in the Bleed Rock Trio stuff, but it would be way more just AC/DC based, like, little rippers.
Yeah, not like so.
This was like
heavy.
A fully formed metal song,
Yeah, it was, and I tried to make it a little bit more like on the Down, that band Down, or
yes,
that kind of
I
side.
know that band.
Yes, one of the best. That NOLA record's still like one of the best records ever. But that
absolutely
I just wanted to make it more kind of in your wheelhouse. Like, hey, if you listen to Down, you can kind of maybe get a vibe of this, and you don't have to like scream your head off the whole time. It can still have some flavor, it can still have like your Shelby swagger. It doesn't have to be you screaming, because that's what I didn't want you to feel like. I'm writing you this big metal song, so now you have to scream all the time. Like, that's not you.
Yeah. I still fight with that.
Really?
I'm just getting older. Well, the one thing is my body can't do what I used to do. I mean, if I scream for half an hour, my voice is gone now.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to figure out a different delivery in order just for longevity, You get to my age and you start tuning down half a step just so you can make it through your whole 45-minute set.
Get those tuners out, kids. Daddy's a little tired today. Can we go a half step lower?
Yeah. I feel like it's a 438 kilohertz day on your tuner, right?
But I loved the part. I'll tell you the part that got me pumped on this one. When I knew it was a song that was that like when because you did that. And actually, what was cool about this, I just told you this the other day, you didn't know, was we re-recorded the vocals with Chris Keene in his studio because we wanted to do it. You did the first ones in your basement on your probably $100 mic or something, right? Into your little Focusrite interface or whatever it is. And they sounded great, and I was all pumped up, and we had those there for quite some time. Then we were saying, let's go see Chris. Let's redo these vocals on a nice preamp, nice thing. And Chris is really good at coaching through vocals, like getting your best, like making sure you're in tune, on time, giving your best delivery, all that stuff. So we were like, let's go round it out and let's be done. Re-recorded them. I went in there to mix it with him, and I was like, you know what, Chris, this first set of vocals that he sent me had some fire to it. It just, maybe it's on a shitty mic and everything like that, but it just had some fire in his belly when he sang it because it was new and exciting. And I'm not getting that from this. So can I just try and fly him over? So the vocals that are on the song are the ones that you recorded in your basement, probably right where you're sitting right now. And because they just had great energy, and maybe you were nervous to show me and maybe you were excited, but that is what made it rad,
So all the stuff that I paid to do in the studio, you're saying, was I just threw the money out the window.
You basically set it on fire. Yeah. You took some money, set it on fire, and that was about it. Meanwhile, Chris was like, Chris is like, we're not going to use my, hey, whatever. You pay me either way, suckers. So no, I just thought, but I do think that is so cool that the energy was there for you because it was new, first time hearing the song, first time trying to sing over a rock song. And even though maybe you were in better tune, better time or whatever with Chris, but that energy was what I was missing. So when he flew him in, and Chris the whole time was like, fuck yeah, dude, this is, yeah, we're using this. Like whether it's, like the sound quality is the same or not, we're using this one. And like he could feel it, he was like, dude, he was
that's
bringing
rad.
it. Yeah, it was awesome. And so those vocals, yeah. And now you're a engineer now. Did you know you're an engineer? You're big time. Put that on your credit. Shelby Cobra tattooer / engineer for all your music production needs, whatever you need. I got it.
Yeah, I fixed my washing machine too. Do I get to write the Maytag repairman down?
Yep. Handyman. No, so that I think the first song, I'm Your Sinking Song, is what got me thinking we could do some really fun stuff. So thanks for taking a chance on singing some rock stuff.
Heck yeah. Well, hold on. Let's talk about you too, because I don't know how many people know that you write a big chunk of that Armed for Apocalypse songs and that you're an active member of that band, just not touring, right?
Right. Yeah. It's very, very, very cool of them because of my life.
Can I dip into this? I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. But that's a big part of Nick and Nate and Charlie, those guys in that band, because I have, work and, I have a wife and kids and they're not married or anything like that. And I just can't tour anymore. I can play a show occasionally maybe, but I can't tour anymore. There's just no way I can do it. And it sucks. I went through like a depression over that for a while because I love touring and being in bands and stuff. And I thought that part of my life was over, but those guys, they're just like, they were continuing on, but I would just keep sending them songs and they just let me exist in that way, like where I can write songs, send it to them. Sometimes they just 100% like, that's it. Yep. Cool. We got a new song. And sometimes like they'll send me stuff but they let me get that like creative, like I still feel like I am in that band, even though I don't tour with them. Like I write a lot of the songs. We went to the studio, recorded the whole thing together, and now they're off. I think they just got back from England because they're out working it. Now, do I wish I could be in England with them? Hell yeah, of course. I miss those guys all the time. I love touring, but I also feel like I'm so lucky in my situation because they let me live my life and be me and still be in the band. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, the reason I brought that up is because what you wrote and sent to me was fucking awesome. It was a fully formed song. It just needed me to put a sprinkle on it. You know what I mean? It was that was the easy part, I thought. Shit is dope. Everything you do is dope. And you came to me and you're like, dude, look it. I know this isn't in your wheelhouse, but I think you can do it. And it's just not quite hard enough for A, but it's like got your vibe. And I was stoked that you asked me to be part of it because in all honesty, you never asked me to be part of any of the metal type stuff. It was always more when we were doing cover songs and whatnot. And I'd never tried it. In all honesty, I picked country music a long time ago because when you hit 70, you don't look good in tight pants jumping around the stage anymore. But you're still killing it, dude.
Yeah. It's. Country music does age a lot better than heavy and hard music and stuff like that. And I think it's more timeless. When you write a country song, it could have come out 30 years ago, and it could come out 30 years in the future, and there's still like a cool like through line there with country. But I also, when I wrote that song, I write whatever comes to my head. I think that's what having home recording studio has done for me, is I get to write whatever is in my head, regardless of it, if it has a project, if it's a real song or what. I just have an idea. Sometimes it sounds like, the Smashing Pumpkins or something. Sometimes it sounds like AC/DC. I have no idea what's going to come out, but I just try to record whatever comes to my head. And then that one, I wrote it pretty much all the way through. And yeah, it didn't sound A for A. And it was actually tuned way higher too. I think it was in like, I tuned it to like drop D and then down a half step, and Armed for Apocalypse tunes to drop G or whatever. So it was, just didn't sound like it was big and, just gnarly enough and extreme enough to be A for A. So I was so glad that you were willing to take a chance on it,
So
It
did
was
you
cool.
at any point have me in the back of your mind as when you were writing it being like, I think you could pull this off, or maybe I'll give this to Shelby when I'm done with it?
Yeah. So when I was about halfway through,
Aw.
I don't think I got. Oh, you. Look,
Get
well,
out of here.
as soon as I realized that it wasn't going to be heavy, you know, it wasn't going to be like that big Arm for Apocalypse, like Tune to Zero type of sound. I was kind of bummed, you know. I was like, dang, because I really like this song. Or, yeah, I like these riffs and stuff, and that was kind of cool. And then I just had one of your check-in conversations with you, probably, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna see if I can finish this out and give it to Shelby and see if he can do something with it. And so the just the overdubs on the chorus of the guitar and the bridge and everything like that. Yeah, I wrote that whole part. Just started sprinkling parts that I thought would be more geared towards you. And
Yeah.
yeah, because I realized pretty early on it was like it's just not heavy enough for Arm for Apocalypse. It's more of a rocker than it is a
Yeah.
a pit starter.
Dude, I love it. And everything you've written so far. I mean, we have these other songs we're not talking about yet, but when we play them in my band, because I'll play them live every once in a while, and they bring the house down. It's killer. Like they just have such a vibe to them.
I like what you make my songs, and this would just turn it into like cuddling up to each other here. But you make my songs something that they just are kind of an empty thing to me. I'm just writing a bunch of riffs, and then when you send them back, then they're songs. Like for me, they're just ideas, they're just riffs or whatever. But you send them back with like your lyrics and a real chorus and stuff, and now I'm like, oh well, this is a song. Before it was just I don't even know what, and now this is a real song.
That's cool.
And you'll notice when you send stuff back to me, I'll start changing. Oh, we should go back to this hook again, or we should extend the bridge, or we should do this because now I want to make it a song because you made it a song.
Yeah.
Other than just like a collection of riffs or whatever. So that is really cool. It inspires me, and it all started because of "I'm Your Sinking Song." That's what got me thinking. Like, I think we could
pull this off.
Yeah, I think we could do it. And this is the song that we didn't even have a band name, nothing, no Cobra Hunter or anything. It was just me and you doing it while nobody's looking.
I think that was a huge advantage. Is that we just said, all right, well, we're going to do this because we want to do this, and couldn't care less if anybody. No, actually, I want everybody to hear it. But if nobody does hear it, if somebody stumbles upon this song 20 years from now, I want them to be all, dude, that's dope.
Yeah,
but that's not all I expect from it, and I would love more. But
yeah, but isn't that? I just think that's what it's all about. Like we're writing it because we want to write it, and we're doing it because we want to do it, and we're proud of it. As I'm proud of it as anything I've ever done, right? And but it's not so people will look and listen to it. It was for us, and if people look and listen, people look and listen, that would be rad. That would just be awesome, and I'd be proud of it. I wouldn't be like, oh, they're coming across something. I thought I was kind of burying that in the corner somewhere. Like, no, I'm as proud of it as anything, and I hope a gajillion people listen to it. But if they don't, it doesn't mean any less to me.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't mean anything to me, man. All that stuff is a bonus. It's just cool. I like thoroughly enjoy that time with you, just writing and creating. Yeah.
How do you get them to listen?
Yeah. Good question. No idea. If I knew how to get people to listen to music, I'd be having this conversation in my jet somewhere. So I haven't cracked that code. Maybe I just don't write music that people enjoy listening to. That could be it. I'm all right with that.
Yeah. I don't know. Cayle. That's a deeper podcast, bud.
I know. I don't think I'll ever crack the code. Whatever. I'm cool as long as you and I are having fun. All right. Well, let's conclude the "I'm Your Sinking Song" episode of the Green Trucker Records podcast. I'm your host, Cayle Hunter, and my guest, Shelby Cobra. Thanks for listening, y'all. Bye.
Peace.
I don't